9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command start. 2, 1. And liftoff. New Shepard has cleared the tower.
There you have it, a spectacular launch of New Shepard, live from West Texas.
All right, so hold on. Coming up here around 44, 45 seconds is when we'll see our escape.
There it is, 70,000 pounds of thrust pushing that crew capsule at 400 miles an hour.
When the BE-3 engine remains on, the booster continues to space.
There it is, a clean firing in the solid rocket motor. The drogues are out on the crew capsule. Those mains should follow shortly.
The booster remains nominal. It's at 39,000 feet and climbing.
Wow, and look how stable that crew capsule is coming down.
Yeah, it looks wonderful.
Again,
Nice
it was a
stable.
clean fire of the solid rocket motor. We're waiting here for the mains to come out. Again, the purpose of this test is to make sure that that crew capsule escapes, and it looks like things are going well for right now.
Booster is at 85,000 feet and climbing.
But Phil, there goes your beautiful booster up towards space. It looks like it also clean firing of our BE-3 engine.
Absolutely.
110,000 pounds of thrust.
Right, we should note 110,000 pounds of thrust off the pad, but actually we have to throttle down shortly after our planned escape, simply because while we lost the aerodynamic benefit of the crew capsule,
And there go the mains.
Okay, so those three mains are reefed right now to keep them small. The reefing will remove shortly to fully expand, as you can see. All three mains.
There you go, full inflation. Phil, as a reminder, we also have that retro thrust system on the bottom of the crew capsule to make sure that the touchdown is even smoother for our astronauts.
That's right.
For just as a reminder, that's also going to kick up quite a bit of dust out here in Texas.
Yeah.
We've heard it looks, again, looks a bit sporty, but really it's actually just creating an even softer landing for our astronauts here. It's going to come down at just about 3 miles an hour by the time it touches down.
That's right. And to update our viewers, the booster is currently at 240,000 feet and climbing and has just experienced main engine cutoff.
Beautiful.
It continues its ascent to space. Like I was mentioning earlier, we actually have to throttle down the engine as soon as the escape happens, because what happens is, while you lost the aerodynamic benefit of the capsule, you also lost 8,000 pounds, and so if we kept going with our full propellant load at full thrust, we'd actually overboost and go even deeper into space. But let's focus back on the crew capsule.
That's right. You see the hills of West Texas in your screen. A nice, smooth 15 miles an hour or so on that crew capsule. If you're an astronaut in there, it'd be a nice, smooth ride. It would have been exciting, certainly, but most importantly, you'd be safe, right?
You'd be finally catching your breath and watching those mountains come up around you.
And touchdown of the New Shepard crew capsule. From what we can tell, that was a nominal in-flight test of our escape system. And again, all astronauts on board would have had a pretty exhilarating ride, but a safe ride.
Absolutely.
Now that is a robust system, Phil.
Absolutely. All right, so the booster has just passed apogee and it's beginning its re-entry. So you can see the speed is picking up quickly. We've got about a minute until we hit our re-entry. Apogee, of course, is the the maximum altitude of the rocket. So its vertical velocity went to 0, and now it's re-entering the atmosphere.
So Phil, we've got a couple of subsystems up there in that ring fin. We've got the drag brakes that are gonna come out at about 20,000 feet. They're gonna cut the speed in half. We also have the wedge fins that come out of the ring fin. That's to help with stability, in addition to the ring fin itself, which helps centralize the pressure. It keeps the rocket upright as it's coming into land.
Correct. The ring fin shifts the center of pressure backwards, and we're about 12 seconds out from those wedge fins deploying. And that also creates additional stability, passive stability for the booster during re-entry. And there they go.
Again, I want to thank our viewers for joining us for this live test of our New Shepard rocket. So far, it's been a successful test of the in-flight escape system, and we're just waiting for our booster to come down for, fingers crossed, what we hope to be the 5th landing of this exact same booster.
So we're at 120,000 feet and falling. 100,000 feet. Now the sequence will be really quick here. The drag brakes will deploy, and shortly after that the BE-3 will restart. And we'll wait for that smooth, gentle descent onto the pad.
And again, it's the ability of that BE-3 engine to thrust down all the way to 20,000 feet to give it the precise, soft landing.
All right, so drag brakes are fully deployed. Let's wait for that BE-3 engine to fire.
And watch that speed falling pretty dramatically.
There she goes. Look at that. Nice and stable. Landing gear deploying. There you go. The booster's leaving. That tail fire's got set and short. Beautiful.
Wow. There it is.
Touchdown.
There you go, New Shepard. Look at her. What a test. Phil, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be raising a glass to both the booster and the crew capsule this evening.
Yeah, me too.
What an extraordinary test and a tremendous final flight for both craft. As we'd very optimistically aimed for, both our crew capsule successfully executed its in-flight escape test, and the booster brilliantly continued to space and came home for a 5th landing on our landing pad just 2 miles north of where it took off from. Phil, both of these vehicles are going to be retired after this epic flight, but we'll certainly find a place for these vehicles to be seen by everybody. In the meantime, we've got replacement next-gen New Shepard boosters and capsules coming down the line at our facility up in Kent, Washington, near Seattle. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait to get back down here to Texas to fly them again soon.